Hey guys, it's me, Vic123, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys a brand new Titanfall trailer which showcases the Atlas class of Titan, which appears to be a more all-rounded type of Titan with comparison to the Ogre and the Strider, which was shown off in my previous Titanfall video and trailers. Once you guys have checked that out, I'm going to be going over the trailer in detail and picking out things you might not have noticed because a lot goes on, there's a lot of crazy stuff, and as always, I hope you enjoy.
Through the years, Hammond Robotics has always built the weapons you use to help keep enemies at bay. And Hammond Robotics will always develop the machines that are the cornerstones of any endeavor to keep our military safe. As the leader in the industry, we only build the best. That has been our legacy in every design. We present the Atlas. On the frontier, the Atlas has always performed when needed. From the first conflicts to the latest deployments, the Atlas stands the test of time. As the workhorse of the IMC Titan fleet, it has survived every encounter and mission scenario and continues to outperform competing technologies on every battlefield. At Hammond Robotics, we're bringing the future home.
All I can say is, wow, that footage looked amazing, and it's going to be so fun to play different contrasting types of Titans in a multiplayer environment. But now let's go into depth on this trailer and see what we can pick out. So first of all, the trailer is set in the theme of Hammond Robotics, who later become the in-game faction, the IMC, the Interstellar Manufacturing Corporation, who are battling against the other in-game faction, the Militia. So that's a little background on the game itself. However, there won't be a campaign or a storyline as such. It'll be blended into multiplayer anyway. Right there, we spot immediately one of the Militia's dropships warping into the sky right there. I believe above Angel City. That is the map most of this gameplay features on. And then the interesting thing, as this fades out, we see some aircraft moving out of the dropship. So that's a first right there. So next we spot some smaller scale robots. They're definitely not Titans, they're definitely not human AI grunts. They are something a little bit different that we don't know a huge amount about right now, but I believe they are Marvins, which we saw in the previous trailer and some previous footage. So to illustrate that, what you're now seeing is footage from the previous Strider Titan trailer, and you can see these look to be Marvins. They're not identical to the ones we see in the current trailer, however, they seem to be of a similar kind of design, and you actually see them right here repairing Titans, which is very interesting, could add a very interesting dynamic to the game, especially when you know that a team can actually control the Marvins for themselves. I'll show you a little bit of footage right here. So this is the data knife right here, which can actually be used by pilots to hack into Marvins and control them for their own team. Now, if Marvins can go around and do things like repair friendly Titans and that sort of stuff, having control of them on the map could be something that's very interesting and very important to the game. So that's something we could see slipping into the game later on, just another, unique element that we could see within. So anyway, for now, we're going to move beyond the Marvins themselves because we don't know a huge amount right here. There could be a load of different ways they're applied into the game, if at all, and you can see them on some sort of assembly line right here. So they are manufactured themselves, and it looks like they assist in manufacturing or repairing Titans themselves. Now we're back to the main lobby area or something of Hammond Robotics. As you can see, they're advertising the Ogre, a heavy Titan, right there in the background, and the actual Atlas Titan itself is the Titan we've seen in all of the previous gameplay. So if you'd like to check out some actual gameplay of the Atlas Titan with all of the 3 different weapons, the different classes, the different abilities, then there is a 10-minute video of gameplay with my first impressions of Titanfall linked in the description. You guys are more than welcome to check that out. But anyway, onwards with the trailer. Right here, the Titan is dropping in, and this is something, we're very used to seeing. The Titan will drop from the sky in a drop pod, land in, and the pilots will be able to hop into it. So as you can see here, the Atlas Titan, I believe, is using the XO16, which fires 40mm cannon rounds. And if we pause the video right here, in the bottom left, we can actually see some attributes of the Atlas Titan itself. So what I'm now going to do is bring up the stats for the Ogre and the Strident Titans, which will allow us to do a bit of a comparison. So these are the side-by-side statistics of the Titans, and as expected, the Strider outclasses the other Titans in speed, the Ogre in armor, and then the Atlas is a more averaged out piece of kit. The interesting thing to note is that the Ogre overall looks to be, much better in terms of those statistics purely than the other Titans. However, it doesn't consider one key part of the game, which is range and special abilities, so it can be assumed that the Titans will be balanced in different ways. It's also interesting to look at fuel as a statistic, because when I've played this game previously, I've never seen that come in as a factor, but it would be interesting to see if that was, a mechanic within the game. So now let's get back on board with the trailer itself. Again, here just some more information about the Atlas Titan itself. Nothing we don't already know or yields anything that interesting. Now here, pay close attention to the top left of the screen. Did you see that? Did you catch that? It looked like a fighter jet flying above the Titan. Now that's the second time we've seen a jet. The first time was, flying out of the first dropship we saw. The second time was just then a sneak peek, and in just a moment we're going to get an even more in-depth look at what seems to be a fighter jet itself. So the interesting thing to consider that I'm going to discuss now before we get to see, the main fighter jet sequence itself, once again, is that we've really not seen any vehicles other than the mechs, the Titans, within Titanfall thus far, and how these jets are going to play into the game is going to be very interesting. Will they be player controllable? Will pilots be able to jump into them? Or will they be purely AI? Will they be involved in the single player campaign merge? And that would be my guess at this point. You can see, there we go, very clearly there's a jet. Also, if you look to the bottom left, you've got that sign with a wanted fellow on there, so perhaps that's going to link into the single player multiplayer blend. And this ties in with a quote from Drew McCoy, who is a Titanfall producer. He says, "When you first start the game, you'll play campaign multiplayer, which takes the bits and pieces you're used to having in single player, like a story and characters and big moments that contextualize what you're doing. We're putting that into multiplayer." So jet attacks could be something that, could be seen as single player elements that reach into multiplayer. That could be something very interesting. The last point we're going to pick up on right here is that actually you can tell a clear difference between the IMC and the Militia Titans. As you can see, the IMC White Titan is very polished and kind of new, and the Militia Titan right there looked very rusted out and, damaged. So there we go. That is it for my Titanfall Atlas trailer. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you spotted something you didn't spot before, learned something new. If you did, feel free to leave a like rating, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and check out a full 10-minute Titanfall gameplay with my first impressions and also the Strider and Ogre Titanfall trailers through the links on screen right here or in the description. We've got a Titanfall playlist, all that great stuff. I will see you guys on a future video. I am out.